it, just go get a massage. Yeah, maybe I should do that, right? Do something. But yeah, bro, like I was all kinds of fucked up yesterday. Like I'm telling you guys, like it was bad. And so I didn't do anything yesterday. And so yeah, Space Marine PvP playing new game today. I'll play an Otria some more of it. Yeah, I'm gonna get into it. And that's what the plan is, at least, right? And so yeah, maybe it's due to your pillow and your mattress. Nah, people, I think honestly it's just tension, right? I mean, like I'm the kind of person that you know, like I've always got headaches as a kid. Even it's always been an issue. And I think it's just another one of those, right? It's nothing like it's not like a way to solve it or something like that. It's just the way it is sometimes, right? And so just a stress headache, get him all the time. Yeah, exactly. But I'm gonna hopefully be okay today, be good today. I've got a bit of a residual, but you know, we're gonna try to work through it and just you know, get through it. Massage will make you feel amazing, bro. Yeah, I probably should go get one of those, right? That'd be a good idea. But we're gonna try and get into it and play the game some more, and that's it. So yeah. Have you seen Stay Safe's video about his Twitch ban? I actually did watch it. Stay Safe got banned for a day, which is like, I find it so, like, the Stay Safe situation is so weird to me. Because, like, if Twitch really thinks this guy is a Nazi, why would you give him a 24-hour suspension? Wouldn't you just permaban him, right? I mean, so, like, because in my opinion, right, if I thought somebody was a Nazi, I'd permaban him. So it's weird that that happened, and it's like, also they said they suspended him, but they never said why they suspended him or what he got suspended for. And, you know, there's no link that he got suspended to, right? Made you change it. Yeah, 24-hour suspension, gonna get somebody to stop being a Nazi. Yeah, true. Not seeing his point of view. Yeah, exactly. And that's the way I see it. He went from far right that he's now far left. I don't know if he's, I mean, like, look, all I'm saying is, like, I think it's weird that what happened with Twitch. Like, I don't know if they should have banned him or not. I don't know why they banned him, but it seemed kind of weird that that happened. I'll tell you that. They might make a comeback out of Events of the Future. Oh, Nazis? Yeah, it seems like it. I've been following on Twitter. I see a lot of it. Did you watch the clips of him talking about Hitler? No, I didn't watch any of that shit. Like, I mean, I have no idea. But, like, do you see, like, the logic, though, about how, like, if somebody's actually a Nazi, shouldn't they get banned for, like, permanently, right? Like, am I crazy for thinking that? If you really think somebody's a Nazi, shouldn't you permaban them? That's me. So it's a weird dynamic, right? It's a very weird dynamic. So, yeah, I don't know what to say. So many of them on X. Well, like, I'm not talking about X, I'm talking about Twitter, right? I mean, my opinion is, like, let Nazis speak because, hey, they lost in the 40s, they'll lose again. Like, it's a collection of bad ideas whenever it's exposed to critical thought. So the way that you destroy that, the way you beat that, isn't through banning them off of social media. It's about confronting it directly, like we did. So yeah, that's the way I see it. Just let them, yeah. No, that's my perspective, right? Now I know some people disagree with that, but that's the way I see things. That's the healthy way of looking at things, right? So yeah, you beat them by outing them as bigots. Yeah, but like that doesn't work if people don't care about being bigots, right? And so it's just that's a bad way to look at things, in my opinion, right? That's yeah, fight speech with speech. Yeah, something like that. So I can only ask, please confronting any Nazi by kicking him in their balls. No, I don't think you should kick people. Like, I don't like this whole, like, punch Nazis thing. I always thought it was, like, really cringe and stupid. Because it's, like, I hear people, like, I remember I saw this, like, this was, like, a couple of, like, was it today? Yeah, this is, like, so, this is actually a good example. That's actually good to remind me of this. So, somebody says that they don't like Indian food, and it's, like, dirt spices on it, and it's Nazi dog whistling. So, this woman doesn't like Indian food, and she's a Nazi. Like, you know, Nazis used to, like, fucking set people on fire and shit, right? And, like, they used, like, Jewish women for, like, medical experiments. Like, you think, really, like, it's just such a retarded thing. Like, what kind of a dumb bitch thinks that it's the same thing as being a Nazi because you don't like Indian food? Get the fuck out of here. And so people use this word all the time. It's like slavery, bro. Like, people use this word and they water down the meaning of it so much that it's like Nazi is just anybody who doesn't like another culture. Like, get the fuck out of here. That's not what it means. It's not what it ever meant. So, yeah, well, you lost its meaning? Exactly. The guy is a PDF file, by the way. I don't know who this guy is. I have no idea. I just saw this tweet pop up. But definitely not a Nazi dog whistle by saying that you don't like Indian food. What a ridiculous thing to say. How mentally ill do you have to be to believe that? Did his post get 171k likes? Of course it did. It's stupid. So if you have a tweet that's really stupid, you're going to have obviously a lot of people that are going to like it because a lot of people are stupid. The take on Indian food, though, is an L take. I never really had a lot of Indian food, to be honest with you. I really can't say whether it's good or not. But I'm just saying, like, you know, not liking it doesn't make you a Nazi. You know, it's just kind of crazy. And so, yeah. Warhammer 2 CEO drama for his comment on your video. I saw that. There's been a lot of people that have been talking about that comment. And I found it to be pretty funny. Like the whole thing about that comment. So basically, let me go ahead and I'll explain this. Where is it? Oh fuck. Let me go ahead and just look real quick. And Asmongold, space. I guess I'll do Space Marine 2. Space Marine 2, okay, so, yeah, this one here. So, basically, the guy that's apparently, and nobody, by the way, this is the funny thing about this, that this whole thing is hilarious to me. So, there's been an ongoing saga. Let me see if I can find this real quick and pull everything up here for you guys. Oh, fuck. Where'd it go? Sorry, guys, give me a minute. God damn it. Okay. Space Marine 2. Okay, and... Right, okay. So basically a lot of people have been posting about this comment that was made. And by the way, nobody actually knows whether this is the guy or not. Like, anybody, like, this, you can make any comment and say that you're anybody. Like, you can put your name as Abraham Lincoln and say, hey, man, guys, don't go to the play tonight. I heard there might be a shooting. You know, like, why? That's not the way it works, right? That's not it. I'm Elon Musk. Yeah, I'm Elon Musk. Give me 1 Bitcoin and I'll give you 2. And so I'm the president. Yeah, it's me, President Trump. Give me all your money now. I need to stop Crooked Joe. And so anyway, Sleepy Joe, excuse me. And so this person just makes a shit post. And I don't know if this is a CEO or not. Nobody knows if it's a CEO or not. But for whatever reason, this comment has attracted a tremendous amount of attention. And I think it's very, very fucking funny. And so let me go back over here and I'm going to look into this because a lot of people have been talking about this. It's incredible. Let me see if I can find the tweet about it. And where is it here? CEO. And so a lot of people have been positive, by the way. Where's IGN? I guess I can go to IGN, right? IGN. Okay. Because they made a tweet about this too, talking about it. I can see if I can find it. Where'd it go? They post so much stuff, it's hard for me to find everything. Scroll all the way down. Can you guys tag me in it? Oh, there we go. Never mind. We're fine. Okay, so basically... So IGN, and there's been a number of other people that have reached out about this as well, is that IGN posts an article, this is like 17 hours ago, Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2 developer Saber Interactive won't say whether or not controversial YouTube comment is from its CEO. And so if you click on the article, they had to change their name. They changed the title of this from controversial to explaining what it actually was. And so it actually, and the reason why is because it wasn't controversial to anybody. This is a media hack that they do, is they presuppose a narrative by kind of like preheating it to a certain temperature, right? So they say that it's a controversial comment and then hopefully by a self-fulfilling prophecy, it then becomes controversial, right? But the truth is that this comment had 14,000 likes. Everybody was positive about it. Everybody was supportive. There was no controversy, whether or not this person was making, was the CEO or not that made the game. It really has nothing to do with that. People agreed with the comment and it resonated with a lot of people. And so controversial is getting old. Well, what controversial does is it presupposes that something is wrong, right? Do you see what I'm saying? So like you're setting the narrative that what's being said is potentially problematic. So like you create it right there. And so it's subliminal suggestion, right? And this is The problem is that a lot of journalists and a lot of writers are like they're proficient in the English language enough to manipulate people, but they're not proficient in the English language enough to be persuasive. And I think that's the problem, is that you're using manipulative language, but the articles and the persuasion that you use isn't persuasive. And so this is really what happens. And you can see this with a lot of language that's used by journalists. And I think that it's a very, very big problem. And I think that, again, if you read something that like somebody who's actually a good writer writes, you compare it to your average article, it's a night and day difference. It's really just a total different thing. And I think it's a bad thing. It's very problematic, in my opinion, that there's such a big issue where, you know, we have people that are not, you know, people that don't fully grasp the English language, right? It's a huge problem. It's a shame because their videos aren't bad. Yeah, exactly. Entertaining versus hit pieces. Exactly. And so anyway, a commenter claiming to be Kark weighed in on a video. And so a lot of people like this comment. IGN reached out to them, but they did not receive a response. And so anyway, this is a very good thing. So basically what a lot of these media companies do is they ask for responses. Like what they basically do is, so I can create, let's look at the pipeline, okay? So pipeline 1 is something happens, okay? This is usually always how these things begin. And so something happens. And then, you know what happens after that? Well, then you have the article that is written. Why does it... This is going to sound really stupid. Why does it always default back down to 11-point font? I never want it to be at 11-point font. Is there any way I can fix this? I'm so fucking annoyed. No? What a retarded program. I'm going to get rid of this piece of shit. Okay. Well, actually, I'm not, because the only replacement would be Adobe, which is somehow even worse. Okay, something happens. And then the second thing that happens is, it's reported on in a, problematic... Well, let me think of a good way to say it. Something happens, it becomes misrepresented. It becomes misrepresented by media. Right? And so this is the second thing that happens, right? And this is very, very common. And this is, and then obviously right here, you have the, false narrative begins. And so I have to change this piece of fucking shit again. Okay, give me a second, and I am going to lose my fucking mind dealing with this. And then, false media, let's see, false, what's the best way to say this? False narratives created. So the false narrative is then created by the media's misrepresentation. Okay, so you see how this happens, right? And then what happens after that is you can see then media reaches out to clarify what was actually done, what actually happened. So this is the toxic, like, feedback loop of journalism. And I'm going to explain how this happens. So basically, something happens, like, let's say this comment is made, and then this comment becomes misrepresented by things like IGN, or by places similar to IGN. So nobody comes at Paris 3 because it goes to the Twitter world, right? And so it becomes misrepresented and then reported on, and then this narrative is created that there is a controversial comment that's been created. And then what ends up happening is that that narrative then makes the company feel like they have to set the record straight and explain themselves to these companies. But the problem with why this is a problem is because it creates a power dynamic where news agencies and journalistic agencies and journalists can effectively misrepresent something and then make you talk yourself off the cliff that they put you on. And so what happens is that they create a false narrative, and then they want you to correct the false narrative that they've created. And I think that, again, Saber Interactive is making the right decision in the same way that Game Science made the right decision. And the right decision is to not play the game. It's not to confirm yes or to confirm no. It's to have no comment. You don't talk about it with them. You don't give it oxygen. Because every time that you do that and you explain things to them, what you do is you empower this machine. And so Saber Interactive not commenting on this means that IGN and also other companies that were similar to this are not worthy of, like, their influence is not meaningful enough to warrant a comment. It's not meaningful enough in order for them to have to explain themselves. Like, they are not accountable to IGN in the same way that Game Science is not accountable to them. And this is not IGN, it's Kotaku or any of these other places here, right? And so this is an incredibly good thing, a very gamer move here, is that you don't play a game that's rigged against you. They misrepresent the truth and report it as somebody did something bad, no evidence, but they refuse to comment. Exactly. And so the more companies that stop having dialogues with these different journalistic institutions, because you have to understand that these places like IGN does not exist to be for the benefit of a customer. It does not exist to be for the benefit of a developer. It does not exist to be for the benefit of a reader. It only exists to be for the benefit of the people that own the company because it's a for-profit entity, right? That's it. That's all that matters. That's all they care about. So when you look at something like IGN and you see them do something like this, it's like, why would they do this? They're doing it to make money, right? And so there has been a power structure that these companies have tried to uphold by, we're going to make something up about you, we're going to create a narrative about you, and now you have to explain why the narrative that we created is wrong. And the only way that you win that game is by not playing. And I'm really glad that more companies are starting to realize this. And I think it's a great thing. It is a very, very good thing. Are you saying the misrepresentation is on purpose? I don't think... Yes, it is. I think it is on purpose. I think it is absolutely on purpose. And it's not a misrepresentation as in A is B. It's a misrepresentation as in A is like a capital A, or like a different, color of A. It's not a lie. It's just a distortion, or it's a manipulation. Like, and that's usually the way that most lies in media is told. Like, you obviously have the Joseph Goebbels, big lie. You repeat something long enough and people believe it. Like, Obama was born in Kenya, or the 2020 election was stolen, or something like that. We have a lot of things like, the world 9/11. We have a lot of those, right? But those lies are, generally, like, you can only have a lie like that when there is like a totalitarian oppression, right? And so as soon as that oppression ends, then the lie goes away. But the most pervasive kinds of lies are the ones that are halfway true. And that's really where things like this are extremely persuasive. And so this is the power structure and the power dynamic that different journalistic groups have, and this is how they exercise that power dynamic, is they report on something that happens in a way that misrepresents it, and then the company is put in a bad light, and then the company has to explain what actually happened. But if the company never plays that game, then people stop caring. And that's really what matters. And so I think this is a very, very good thing. 1 second. But yeah, so you nailed it. Right, exactly. And this is what happens. And so, anyway, that's saying holy, just ignore it and it will die down. Yeah, and also, the thing is that the more that you talk to people like this, it's like basically giving it oxygen. And the moment that you stop referring to it, or you stop talking about them, etc., or you stop referring to them, it breaks the cycle. Because these publications are only valuable because they have a dialogue with developers. So if developers and publishers don't have a dialogue with them, IGN has no real advantage and they have no value in the market. And so basically, why give something value that is intentionally trying to be a parasite, right? They are parasitic to these games. And so, yeah, that's basically it. Yeah, you don't feed drama baiters, exactly. And I think that also a lot of these mainstream publications and, these, air quote journalists think that these companies have an obligation to explain themselves or a degree of accountability, right? They think that, Saber Interactive is accountable to IGN. They absolutely are not. Nobody is accountable to IGN other than IGN. Nobody cares what you think. And this is the same with me too, by the way. Like, nobody is accountable to me. I can't enforce anything on anybody. You can't do anything. And so these companies think that basically they think that the developers and the publishers need to be accountable to them. And again, I think that's the big problem. The take is controversial now. What a joke. It's never been controversial. Been at the news. IGN has acquired many game journalist outlets. They can effectively mask a game off a lot of media channels. Yeah, but like nobody really gives a shit either way, right? And so anyway, this is just one thing I've noticed a lot. And if you read the comments, by the way, I bought the game because of controversial comment, make games fun again. Please explain how it's controversial. A gaming publication finds a comment about making games having fun again is controversial. Well, what a waste of reading. This guy basically misses old school games like Halo, nothing controversial. And you can see, obviously, everybody is disagreeing with this. And this is the reason why these publishers and developers should never interact with these publications. You should never interact with them in any capacity. Because if you do, they will take advantage of that, and they will use that against you when they can. Yeah, never interact with them. And so it's really good to see that happen. And yeah, Saber Interactive is definitely making the right move by not, don't play their game. Game Science didn't play their game, and Wukong has sold over 15 million copies. These people are simply no longer the gatekeeper to audiences anymore. You can directly advertise to an audience, and they are a vestige of a time that has been gone for over 15 years. So yeah, that's basically it. So yeah, are you trying to finish off gaming journalism? I'm not really trying to finish it off. I'm just saying, like, this is how it's happening, right? 20 million now? Yeah, big surprise. There's a lot of people that like the game. And so there you go. Did you see the internet standing with Dan, TDM, agent, Mr. Beast? Yeah, I guess I can talk about that, sure. Let me see if I can find it. I did see that. This is pretty funny. And so, I'll go ahead and pull this up. Okay. So... an unholy alliance has been created between Logan Paul, KSI, and Mr. Beast. And today, they're selling Lunchables. Here we go. Let's watch it.
Lunchly versus Lunchables.
With Lunchly, you get double the amount of liquid.
Prime has no sugar added, more electrolytes, and more B vitamins.
Crunch Bar. Boo. Feastables Crunch
Yeah!
Bar. Our pizza uses real cheese. Theirs, as it says on their box, is mozzarella pasteurized prepared cheese product. They can't even call it real cheese. We're also 30 less calories, 3 less grams of fat, and 8 less grams of sugar. Turkey Stack 'em. 310 calories.
230 calories.
21 grams of sugar.
Only 7 grams of sugar.
If you look at this close up, you can already tell which one has better ingredients. All right, we'll start off with the Lunchables.
Bro, I'm sorry, that's trash. All right, now we're trying Lunchly.
They're gonna like them?
We're
Yeah.
not biased at all, but ours is way better.
Fiesta Nachos. 22 grams of sugar.
10 grams of sugar.
7 grams of protein.
9 grams of protein.
Come in close and look at the queso cheese.
Not
and
biased
Lunchly
at all,
versus
guys.
whatever that is. Drip versus stick. I like my cheese drippy, bruh. This is a Lunchly salsa right here. Look at the consistency, the texture. And this is Lunchables. Look, it's watery. I can't even look at that. With 400 milligrams of electrolytes, my God!
And it's available for around $4. Super affordable. Go give it a try.
Oh my God.
So basically, there's been, I guess people don't like
Lunchly
this.
versus Lunchables.
Sorry, let me see if I can find it real quick. And where was that? Where was the tweet that the guy made that was like really popular? I don't know where it is. There was like some sort of comment that Dan guy made a response to it. And I'll see if I can find it here. This isn't a live from Community Notes. And so, yeah, did this get community noted or not? It looks like no, it did not get community noted. Yeah, somebody would have to go and find it. He probably deleted it. Yeah, I'm not sure. Well, anyway, a lot of people have been mad about this because they think that it's like sodium. Children shouldn't be counting their calories. I mean, here's really, I'll find it. Yeah. So a lot of people are mad, I think, about this. There's a lot of residual, like a lot of people don't like, I think people generally have kind of a positive like perspective of KSI. But of course, right now, Mr. Beast is pretty much public enemy #1. And Logan Paul isn't, maybe he's still in the top 5, but he's definitely up there. And Logan's #2. I don't know about being #2, but he's definitely up there. And so anyway, let me see if I can find Logan Paul, if he made another tweet about this or commented on this. Let me go back and take a look at it. Yeah. Nice way of saying we have marginally better sugar metrics, but up the salt by 300 to 500%. The 400 milligram potassium claim is incorrect. Misbranding food is illegal. Yeah, see, like, I have no idea whether this is true. Oh, yeah, this is the comment right here. Okay, sorry about this. It took me a couple of minutes, but we've been able to find it. Okay, so this has been a very, very viral comment. Okay, we're good. Everything's fine. So yeah, anyway, excuse me. Let's see here. And talk about hypocrisy, Asmongold censored. No, it was about something else. I had called him earlier, and we were just talking about something that he was planning on doing. And so yeah, also tweeted if you mess with Dan, you mess with YouTube. Oh, I don't know about that. Let me see here. I can't not say anything more. How does this say, Big Fan? Who's selling this crap to kids who don't know any better to trust the people who are selling it to them do better? I don't know why. So, and this is like kind of a big problem that I think we're seeing emerging. I'm not entirely sure why people like Logan Paul and people like Mr. Beast are being held to a higher standard than companies that have been around for years. I mean, like, Lunchables has been around for a really long period of time. So, like, why is it that when Mr. Beast or KSI try to sell something, this is just for the sake of making money? Why is this a bad thing? Why is it bad that YouTubers are trying to sell something to make money? I find it to be very odd. Because of their influence? Well, I mean, companies spend millions of dollars, billions of dollars on marketing to influence people. I don't really I don't understand this. Yeah, I don't get it. And so they target kids? Who do you think Lunchables targets? That's why I don't understand it. And so, like, I'm not really seeing why parents for their kids. Lunchables are absolutely targeted towards kids, man. What do you mean? And so, so kids are the problem, the common denominator? Yeah, we just have to get rid of all the kids, obviously. And what's this here? Stop selling shit to kids. They're already big. That's all I'm saying. I just like, I don't think that there's a, I find that there's like a very weird double standard that people have when an influencer or a content creator tries to sell a product versus a company selling a product. I think that people, and this is kind of, I think, a bad outcome of the parasocial relationship that people have with like content creators and social media. Logan Paul, Dan, KSI, and Mr. Beast, all, like, these are all brands. These are brands. These are not people. These are brands. And so when you look at this through that lens, it helps you contextualize the entertainment that you're getting. And I think that there's too much of a blurring of the lines, and people think that these different content creators are... They think that they're like their friends, or like they should have like a higher degree of trust. Where the fact is, I think the companies are also criticized. I really don't think so. I don't think so at all. I don't think it's the same way. They advertise themselves as people, not brands. Yeah, but brands do the same thing with people. That's why they have people that are like official spokesmen for like different types of companies, right? It's extremely common. Anything problematic that you can see Mr. Beast or KSI or Logan Paul doing has been done in marketing for like 100 years nearly. And so I find it to be very... I find it to be very weird that they're the ones that are getting targeted for this rather than anybody else. The only thing is that they should be better. Why should they be better? Why do you think that they should be better? They already made my bag. Why do they need to add to the garbage out there? But like, and here's really like, so let's go ahead and explore this line of thinking. They should be better. How much do you think the person who is the CEO of the company that makes Lunchables makes? Do you I bet he makes more than all of them. By a lot. It's not even close. 30 million. Yeah, there you go. You pulled the guy? Oh, I don't know if I pulled him before. So do you see kind of what... Like, I don't understand this. 3 well-known scammers and liars selling food to children and lying about said food. Just not a good look, especially with Mr. Beast and Logan. Well, if there are well-known scammers and liars that are lying about food, then shouldn't you just report them to the FDA? I mean, if that's true, then yeah, I think it's bad. But I mean, I'm not in a position to judge that. I'm saying this because this shit already exists. Why do they need to add to it? Well, you could make that argument with any type of food. Do you think Lunchables was the first time that somebody ever made food that was portable? Like, there's all, like, I don't understand the logic here. So because there's a product that already exists in the market, you're doing a bad thing by creating another product to compete in the market? What's going on in your head? How does that make sense to me? I don't understand this. That's so backwards. Yeah. Oh, I mean, that's the thing, right? So, like, yeah, why is that bad? Stop trying to justify and just say you don't like him. I mean, if people don't like Logan Paul or, you know, like Mr. Beast, I could say, yeah, I can see why. Let's take a look at this. Oompaville made a tweet talking about how Logan lied about the lead amounts in Prime. Well, if he lied about the lead amounts in Prime, shouldn't he be in jail? Or shouldn't he be, like, charged for that? Like, I don't care about, like... I mean, because somebody says they lie about that. If you're lying about the food, that there's something that's in food, then I don't really care about, like anything else. Then they should be held liable criminally, right? On, like, they sued or something like that. Yes, absolutely. And so it's not that I'm against that. Let the rich people keep poisoning the wells with no punishment? Well, what do you mean rich people keep poisoning the wells? Well, I don't even understand this. So, like, but why is it so this is what I'm saying, right? Is that this line of thinking immediately falls apart the moment that it's subjected to any degree of thinking, right? So, can we go back to what I just asked you again? Maybe you can answer the question correctly this time. Why is it a problem that somebody makes a product and puts it out on the market? because it's not like Lunchables or any of the existing products were the only product that existed on the market. So you could use that argumentation for existing products already. And I understand that I'm probably going to get a little bit of pushback for this because I'm defending people that are not liked in the public space, like Logan Paul or especially Mr. Beast right now. But I think that there's oftentimes this case where when somebody like has people that don't like them, everybody throws all rationality and thinking out the window and they just start making things up in order to get mad for no reason. And I find it to be very annoying. Pokemon cookies? Well, remember what I said about that. Why can't they make a product that's actually healthier than the shit peddled to kids? Why can't they make a product that isn't healthier? I don't understand. So, by that logic, like, why are you telling them what kind of product that they can make? Then the shit already peddled to kids. You can say that it isn't healthy. You can say you don't like it. But, like, again, they're pushing a product that's fundamentally unhealthy. Well, then, why are you getting mad about them? Why shouldn't you be getting mad about Nestle? Like, where's this energy for Nestle, Kellogg's, Hershey's, the people that are like Coca-Cola, like Dr. Pepper, like PepsiCo? Like, where's the hostility for that? Why is this hostility being directed so intensely at a handful of people on YouTube that have 1/100th of that influence? Like, I know Mr. Beast is very popular, but Pepsi, it's fucking Pepsi, okay? It's PepsiCo. Like, I'm sorry, but nobody on YouTube is even remotely close to Pepsi. So I don't understand this. It's the fact that they lie about how healthy it is. Well, what do you think that I think should happen? So let me make one thing clear. I think that lying about the health benefits of a product, like a food product, I think it should be a criminal. It should not, maybe not criminal, right? But it should be against the law. You should not be able to say that anything has a health benefit if it does not have a proven and quantifiable health benefit. And I said this with Pokemon's cookies, and I'll say this with the, what's this called again? I forgot even what it's called. Lunchly. Oh, Jesus Christ, what a stupid name. Anyway, I'm saying this with Lunchly as well. So if you advertise a product and you say this product is healthy, then, and it's not, this is not proven, this is not verified, there's no studies that say this, then I think that you just committed a crime. And I think that you should be prosecuted for that crime. The company should be fined, the person should face jail time. I don't know what the punishment should be, but there should be something that you can do, right? So I very much agree with you about that, and I think that's very true. But whenever you're talking about health benefits, that's something that I think with all companies. It isn't something that's unique to Logan Paul or Mr. Beast. It's simply something that's true. That's all. Like, it's true no matter what brand it is. I don't eat fast food. It's all garbage, my man. My issue is these people who put themselves up on a pedestal just keep pushing garbage, yet the whole time they demonize the corporations. What do you think, that McDonald's doesn't do that? You think McDonald's doesn't demonize other corporations? Like, you think McDonald's doesn't put itself up on a pedestal? What are we talking about? Like, there's just, there's no... It's amazing. It probably does. It does all the time. It's selective hate. Yeah. It's like, this is my opinion, right? Is that McDonald's demonizes other corporations. They don't do it directly, but they do it indirectly all the time, of course. And so anyway, this is what happens. It's selective hate. Yeah, this is selective hate. People are unhappy and disenfranchised with different types of content creators. And by the way, I think this stuff looks like garbage. Like, this looks like trash. I don't want to eat this. Like, that's not, I don't think this is good. I don't, like, I'd rather probably just eat Lunchables like I've eaten for 25 fucking years. So it's not like I like this stuff, but at the same time, I'm not going to go and act like I'm some kind of fucking good person because I'm complaining about it. It's just such a ridiculous moral high ground to try to take. And for people to act like, oh, well, these people are different. These other companies are spending billions of dollars on advertising. It's unbelievable, man. It's easier to attack a product with the face of a hated person behind it instead of a corporation without a face. I agree, but big companies should be held accountable. I think we're in the age of social media where it gets a lot more attention from haters because we can comment on it, but we can't easily do so on company commercials. I think you're right about that. But yeah, anyway, I just find that there's a lot of selective outrage whenever a YouTuber makes a product when there are companies, I think that probably like one of the worst offenders of this is Nestle, that does something like whatever. You can take the negative impact that KSI, Logan Paul, and Mr. Beast have had, and you can multiply it by 100, and it will not even be close to Nestle. But everybody is talking about Logan Paul and Mr. Beast. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous selective outrage, and I find it to be exhausting. Because people like to virtue signal about how bad these guys are. I find it annoying. And I understand this is not the popular opinion to have. It's very popular to say, oh, these guys are bad, they're so bad, YouTubers are greedy, etc. But I'd rather try to live in reality here. You also have notorious scammers selling a product. If they're actually scammers, they should be held accountable by the law. That's what my perspective always is with this kind of stuff. If somebody is actually committing a crime and actually scamming or doing anything like that, they should be held accountable by the law. They're in a lawsuit, well, you know, good luck to whoever wins. Right? Or whoever should win. Aren't you making it as if every criticism of them is just a hater? It's sad. I think it is. I think that when you criticize a person for something that you don't criticize someone else for, that you're not criticizing the thing, you're criticizing the person. And when I see frustration and anger that's leveraged at somebody that is asymmetrical, I take the criticism less seriously. Like when I see one person like complaining about greed with like in one situation, but they're not complaining about it in another situation, then in my mind it seems similar. I don't take their criticism seriously, and I don't think this is like very valid, right? It's selective. Yeah, it's basically selective outrage. You have to set a standard. Yeah, exactly, right? And so it's that simple. Are you criticizing a person or the company? He's a scammer, dude. It's been proven. People defend these guys as hilarious. Well, if he's a scammer and it's been proven, then he should be in jail. It's that simple. And I think that also, I'll go back to what I said before. I think that if you advertise that anything is in any way capacity, any way, shape, or form healthy, and it's not, you should be fined millions of dollars because of false advertising. Like the idea that something is healthy, I think this is an extremely dangerous thing to say, and it should not be allowed. So yeah, it's that simple. Is there a standard for what's healthy? Yes, and it should be set by the FDA, or whatever the Food and Drug Administration is for the company that it's being sold at. So yeah, it's impossible to criticize everyone. It'd be a full-time job. Well, yeah, but whenever people make their full-time job criticizing specific people, then I don't really take that job as seriously. Sorry to say. So yeah, anyway, space inclusion is Concord and space racism is Space Marine. That's true, actually. Yeah, you're right. Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. Yeah, true. I guess so. People love Space Marine. The game's still doing incredibly well. I'll go ahead and I'll pull it up and show you guys. Let's see if we can find it here. Is it in top 10 still? No, it looks like it's not in top 10, but let's see where we're at. Space Marine 2. 77,000 people still playing the game. It is in top 10? Oh, was I just not paying attention? I was looking for the S at the beginning, and I didn't see Warhammer 40k. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It is still in the top 10 for games. So Space Marine 2 has been a resounding, amazing, huge success. Massive fucking success. And so, yeah, big surprise. And it's crazy to me, too, because the game seems pretty simple. Like, I actually really wish that there was more content for it. I do. And I know that they have a roadmap and that's going to happen, but I'm speaking, like, as of right now, I wish there was more content. So, yeah, there it is. It seemed pretty mid. Yeah, I mean, like, but the gameplay loop is very good. I think that's what matters the most. The gameplay loop is very good, and people enjoy it for that reason. It's that simple. Will you play Baldur's Gate 3 someday? Yeah, someday. Because that's the only complaint, that's why. Yep, very good point. RIP. Scandalous move by CD Projekt Red. What is this? Men are once again of the worst sort. Are you a man? Do you dream into getting into a company like CD Projekt Red, but you don't have the money? Well, we're sorry, because the next edition of Scholarship and Mentoring Program is just starting, but only for women. Girls in the Game is a scholarship program aimed exclusively at women, primarily from smaller towns who dream of working in video game development. As part of it, high school students can receive, I guess, $1,200 gross to cover the cost of education and development, as well as the opportunity to join a mentoring program with the person responsible for the education. From the very source of CD Projekt Red, there'll be workshops and a huge dose of knowledge. Yeah, and so a lot of companies do this. Do you want to know the real reason why companies do this? It's because they want to have females figure out a way to get other females to play games so they can make more money. That's the reason why. They don't care about women. Yeah, they don't give a shit about women. That's the only reason. It's a tax break. Yeah. In my opinion, I think this should be illegal. It's really simple. I think that if you're giving preference or privilege to people based off of immutable characteristics, things like race, gender, or sexuality, I think that any time that you classify and you give people money based off of that, it actually, well, in this circumstance, I don't really know. No, never mind. I don't think this should be illegal because it's a private company and they have every right to decide what they want to do with their own money. No, it should not be illegal. However, I find it to be problematic. Yeah, but it is definitely discrimination. It's discrimination in a way. It is, but discrimination really has to do with hiring. Is it discrimination? Yeah, there are discrimination laws. Maybe it should still be illegal because it is discrimination. And it's discrimination that is related to employment. Like, to say that this isn't, it isn't related to employment is ridiculous. So, it should be illegal. Yeah. I mean, I'm having a hard time being certain about this being like something that should be illegal or not. I'd have to really think about it. But I certainly, we can talk about it being illegal all day, right? Doesn't really matter. It's bad. It's bad. It's bad. You should not do this. They should not do this. This is ridiculous. So regardless of whether it should be illegal or not, this is absolutely a ridiculous thing to do. Who cares? Well, I think you should care. I think that you should absolutely care if you have a son and your son is being denied opportunities because of the circumstances of his birth. I find this to be very problematic. I think that every guy should be against something like this. You're being systematically disenfranchised by a group of people who want to congratulate themselves for it. Why is this not... Why are people not mad about this? This is outrageous. It's crazy. What? Yeah, what do you mean? Yeah, everybody should be mad. Exactly. Who cares? Just bait chatter at this point? Yeah, people should be mad. They should be mad. What is this? I guess I'm about a male. Yeah, exactly. Professional dick eaters. I guess so. What if they have 90% males already? I mean, if you have 90% males already, I mean, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of garbage team. Like, every time I see garbage men, there's a reason why they're called garbage men still. You know, you have sales people, and they've tried to change all these into people. Yeah, we still call garbage men, okay? It's because only guys work there. No, it doesn't matter what the percentage of people that are working at a place is, as if this is some indicator of discrimination. It's ridiculous. Imagine if we called them garbage women. No, those are the ones on Twitter. Should that apply to disabilities too? I think it depends on what the disability is and how it's accommodated. I don't know really entirely. I could see some circumstances where it would make sense and others where it wouldn't. So yeah, it's kind of hard to say. People think that they're delusional if they think the private sector doesn't discriminate. Yeah, exactly. And it's an educational program, not a job offer. It is, but at the same time, it's an educational program that, I mean, it would be not, are we really going to pretend like working with a company through a mentorship program would not be a pipeline towards working at that company? I feel like that's obvious. Like, that's why people get into a lot of these mentorship programs in the first place. So to act like this isn't clearly what the pipeline is I think intentionally, it's intellectually dishonest. So yeah, it's not always guaranteed. You're right that it's not always guaranteed, but giving somebody a preference regardless, it's like using steroids whenever you're competing in sports. Using steroids when you're competing in sports doesn't guarantee that you're going to win, but it's always against the rules because it's still cheating. So yeah, it's that simple. It doesn't rain on it doesn't always rain on a cloudy day. Yeah, it's that simple. So it gives you an advantage. Yeah, it's an unfair advantage. It's really just that simple. So if Christopher Nolan is looking for a male actor to play Batman, is that discrimination? No, of course not, because that's a character that's specifically made for a male, for a male, right? That's the reason why. Like, Batman is not the same as being a product engineer. This is not the same thing. I understand. Actually, yeah, that is a gotcha. That is a gotcha. That would be a permaban. Yeah. And so I also want to say, yeah, you are going to get banned. Companies should be allowed to hire however they want. It's their decision. Saying this should be illegal is too far. There's zero grounds for making this illegal. It's like saying movie roles should be open to both genders. The company can hire whatever they want. No, they can't. Really funny thing that you mentioned that. They can't do that. Companies were advocating for that back in the day, and we had to go with civil rights and a bunch of other laws to prevent that from happening. Because companies used to say, we want to hire whoever we want, and whoever we want is not black people. So let's go ahead, use a little bit more thinking. You're halfway there. Hey guys, he was halfway there. But, you know, sorry, he didn't make it. I guess so. So close, man. I know, it's very sad. And I believe they excused their actions by saying they want to encourage girl developers. I still feel like it's discrimination. Well, it is discrimination. Anytime that you give privileges to people based off of something that they can't control, that is discrimination, especially immutable characteristics. Things like, again, gender, race, or sexuality. Anytime that a person is given a privilege or a preference because of one of those things, an injustice has occurred. It's that simple. It's literally that simple. So anyway, what is this here? Oh yeah, we talked about this already. And I find this to be very funny. And yeah, people are very, very mad about the fact that comment, which by the way, was not, like, anybody can say that they're anybody on the internet, but people are saying it's the CEO. There's no validation for that at all. Did they mention your channel? They did, actually. If you look at the IGN article, a commenter claiming to be played in on one video from YouTuber Asmongold focusing on Warhammer 40k Space Marine 2. And so, yes, they did. They linked directly to my video. And, yeah, I guess so. And, that's so shitty. I think it's funny. And, honestly, like, I mean, a lot of the videos have done really well recently. So we've got a lot of people talking about the channel and everything like that. And, it's pretty funny. What if you hire a construction worker and you really need a man because you know for a fact he's going to do a better job than a woman? How is that an injustice? The reason why men can do a better job than a woman is because there is a certain level of physical ability that it requires. So the job doesn't actually require a gender, it requires a physical benchmark. So if women can't meet that physical benchmark, that's very different than women being categorically disallowed. I understand that you're trying to, like, misunderstand. You're, like, intentionally trying to misunderstand things. But unfortunately, there are still enough people in this world that believe in reality. So you're going to have to wait maybe another 10 or 15 years in order for that trick to work. Sorry to say. Objective thinking. Yeah, it's job competency. Exactly. And anyway, I didn't know what it was. That's not a good argument. Yeah, I own a roofing company. I hire women all the time. It's not a good argument. Of course it's not. It's just a retard. What do you expect? But anyway, so like coming to be a sewer with dozens of roaches crawling over, wouldn't do that. Just give an example. Oh, I don't know. Women wouldn't do that. I'm sure some women would do that. And it also, like, women not... Jesus. Man, it's such a huge problem to have people that have... Like, I find this to be so weird that, like, I seem to be the person that's telling people to look at reality. I spend all my time in my house. Like, I never even go outside, but somehow these other people don't, like, I have to explain something that I'm not even dealing with. Like, how is it that I'm supposed to be the voice of reason of reality when I'm living in my